All right, hello everybody. We are back with another Guts and Glory recap with hello Elena. With the great can't think of a cute nickname. Can't think of a cute nickname. How are you today?
There were no pun worthy quotes to this episode. This episode, Austin, I love you. This episode was not funny.
I did actually think to myself, this was too much strategy for you.
There were no fun scenes. There were hardly any fun quotes. So I didn't have a lot to go off of. But I am doing okay. I had a very harrowing experience today, so I'm a little bit under the weather. Because I famously do not like to drive. I think Austin knows this about me. And I went to Bed Bath & Beyond to pick up a mirror for our apartment. And it's like a 20-minute drive to the waterfront from me. But because I've done that drive so many times.
You grew up there?
Yeah. And
I didn't know you ever drive, even that. Oh,
I drive all the time. I just don't drive far. I'll drive. Yeah, I'm no Shannon. I don't just circle the block for no reason. My dad lives in Shadyside. My mom lives in Squirrel Hill. It's like a 5-minute drive. When I worked at Soba, that was like a 5-minute drive. So I drive every day, especially now that I live further from Squirrel Hill. Oh. So I thought waterfront would be fine because I've done that drive a bunch of times before. But the thing about driving for me is that I just don't like driving anywhere where I can't pull over. So residential driving is fine. But bridges, highways, tunnels, anything like that. So there's a very long bridge on the way to the waterfront that I have done a million times and I thought it would be fine. But I started to have an anxiety attack on the bridge and started to black out legitimately thought I was going to die on the bridge. So I got to the end of the bridge and I parked and then I had to have my mom drive Kevin over so that he could drive me back. So I don't know. Austin, have you ever fainted before?
I passed out in a pool, but that was because I was doing a 50 holding my breath thing. And and I came up for air and then I passed out. But yeah, I think that kind of counts. It's kind of fainting.
Yeah. Well, when you faint, you get really sick afterward. Usually, you get really bad stomach ache. And
I just remember having 6 donuts after that, so I can't relate.
Yeah. Well, so I bought an entire pack of Twizzlers.
Oh,
and
nice.
But yeah, so I got really sick afterward and was not fine. So I've been just lying down all day. So I'm finally more composed now enough to have a Truly, but this has been not a great day. Also, Kevin is having a terrible allergic reaction to some bug bites. So we're just a mess today.
I got a nasty one that I keep rubbing that it's just not good, but a tough day for the
tough day.
Yeah. Well,
this is why people are like, why don't you apply for Big Brother again? And it's because I can't even drive. And that to me is a high stress situation. So being in a pressure cooker with thousands of people watching and tweeting about me, I don't think is the move.
That certainly is something that would induce anxiety. However, I don't think driving is a prerequisite for Big Brother. So
no. But I have a couple other, although, Big Brother actually appeals to my main, it gets me to avoid all of my main fears, which are driving and getting sick. And it seems like they have that pretty under control. Yeah. But speaking of which, Austin, this coin challenge was disgusting. I am a little bit of a germaphobe, and handling coins is it makes my skin crawl.
Okay, well, for context, these coins had been sitting in a jar in my room for probably 8 years before that and had not seen the light of day from before. So I feel like they were pretty clean, all things considered. I don't know how many things last on a coin after 8 years, but
coins are the grossest thing to touch. Yeah. They just get passed from person to person to person.
Am I making this up, or is metal just not I don't know. Things can't stay on it, right? It just washes off.
I have no idea. I just know I always feel absolutely disgusting after handling coins. I really don't like it.
I do too, but only because who needs coins? We just don't need them. They're irrelevant.
That's true. Abolish the penny. That's what
they are only for. Yes, a pap. All pennies are bad. All pennies are bronze.
I think. No, they're not. Also, I think Micah licked a penny at one point.
It's a good strategy.
I had to go
very clean. They passed the safety standards, the high safety.
I had to go back and watch it twice because I had already written, Austin, this challenge is disgusting, and then Micah licked the penny, and I was like, he can't have just done that. And I went back and he did do that.
And unfortunately, Micah medevac from the season. He got a terrible infection.
He's the dead man.
I will say there were a lot of moments this episode where I was like, man, those things don't hold up in 2020. Like 4 people squished together, Alex sitting next to Molly. But Alan was demonstrating good mass culture, and it didn't protect him.
Yeah. Alan also is on problematic watch after this episode, so good thing he got voted out. He's on cancellation watch because of his inflection when he said hallelujah a la a black gospel choir.
Oh, I did not pick up on that at all.
Thin ice. Not enough for cancellation, but thin ice.
He definitely was going for born again Christian, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Born again Christian Hubicki?
Born again Christian Hubicki. I also wrote down I was born again. Just to get one more Bane reference in there.
No.
Yeah, so I did. Yeah, I know this episode wasn't the funniest for you, so I apologize for that. However, we did have rocks, so at least you have something.
Yeah, rocks that didn't go the way that I wanted them to at all.
Yeah, did you expect it to go to rocks?
Yes, I expected it to go to rocks, but probability-wise, like if I had to put money on it, then obviously I would think, not huge difference. It's 3-2 or whatever, but I would have expected somebody from the other side to go home. I actually weirdly, like, in my brain somewhere thought that Evan went out on a rock draw, so maybe that's something that I'll have to watch for All-Stars, because I do know he's on All-Stars and I have no idea how he does. But I thought that Evan was going out here once they actually drew the rocks, especially because there were like a couple times where like you feature Evan saying, oh, it's going to be me or whatever. And then Molly's like, no, actually it's going to be me. I can just tell it's going to be me.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's going to be May.
Yeah. So I weirdly thought it was going to be a non-Socatrio person. Well, it was a non-Socatrio person, but I thought it was going to be a non-Socatrio plus Alan person. But then once they drew them, I was like, oh, maybe it's Evan. So I was surprised, but also this is like a very fitting way for Alan to go out. Reputation-wise for Alan, this is like the best thing that could have happened to him.
I know. Oh God, the rocks took me out. I was so destined to win.
My strategy of not doing anything was totally working. It got me to 7th place last time, the pinnacle of Survivor achievement.
We have to have two drinks, I think, for Alan having played before. One for 7th place last time, and at the end he said, "Thanks, Austin, for bringing me back." So. Mm-hmm.
Wow, Nicola and Alan back to back. But yeah, yes. I love the idea of like my strategy obviously worked because I got 7th place. Like all of the strategic powerhouses in Survivor history have made it. That Abby Maria getting that far. It's
Sunday Burquest.
Sunday Burquest. Yeah, there's absolutely no even finalists that have gotten to the end without being amazing strategists.
I think I'd rather be in 7th place than a 0 vote final 3 loser.
It depends what the money is.
Yeah, I think
I would rather be.
It's probably like 10,000 or 15,000, which is not nothing.
I would rather be the losing finalist because A, I can blame it on sexism. B, I think I would give an iconic final tribal performance even if I lost. And C, there would be no like wonder. Like there would still be the sort of like, oh, well, what if I did this to manage the jury, or what if I brought this or whatever, but there wouldn't be like, oh, if I just hadn't been voted out here, maybe I would have won, Yeah. I would just want to eliminate like regret. And I feel like 3rd place is like, well, there's lots of good players.
That's why you go to rocks and you intentionally say, you know what, I will pick the bad rock, and you pull an Alan. People were also like, oh, it was obvious. People didn't think this was obvious, but they were like, as soon as it went to rocks, I knew it was going to be Alan because of the edit. I was like, no, this would always be Alan's edit. There's no other Alan to edit. I didn't hide him. No,
I didn't think it was necessarily going to be Alan.
Yeah, at least the final 7, I think people all care a little bit more than Alan, so I can appreciate that. Probably was his time to go, but certainly benefited one side versus the other. And
Do you feel like Alan didn't care? Or do you feel like he just wasn't very good?
Like, not. I mean, now that Alan's run is over, I mean, he was not my first, second, third, or fourth, or maybe fifth choice to bring back from season 1. Dang. But I thought he would be more invested than he was, and I think it's not that he didn't care; he just like didn't know how to care more.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if Alan was. It was good that you had him there, because if he was anyone else, he obviously would not have stayed with the Ahsoka trio. Yeah. So it's like good because the Ahsoka trio is great and they needed another number. But yeah, that was just exactly the opposite of Sierra Easton going to Rocks. Yeah. Alan is going to Rocks for the status quo rather than against it.
Well, I think there was a lot of interesting stuff this episode with, maybe you don't agree, but we actually did see some Alan for a change, and specifically through the lens of Shannon. And I feel like it was very interesting to see Shannon play this episode to sort of try to get them to flip, because obviously, the trio wanted someone to flip regardless. This is their way to the end. But I also think that Shannon in her mind had to know that this was a great backup option for her to have a final 3 with this. And I just enjoyed watching her, like, as her and Alan are walking, and Alan's like, we should do this. And she's like, no. And she grabs her wrist. She's like, Al, they're there. Let me do the strategizing.
I thought that Alan had the episode title, because I think he said something about a dead man, like not the exact
back from the dead. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, I was like, oh, Alan with an episode title. But like 2 seconds later, Alex says the actual episode title. And I was like, aw. Alex says it twice.
He did say dead man twice, I guess.
I feel that it's very insensitive for Alex to talk about Evan being a dead man, because it was like, oh, you almost made that happen.
Fun fact, I almost gave Evan a concussion the other night, so.
You saw Evan the other night?
Yeah, I did.
How'd you almost give him a concussion? It doesn't sound like you can do that 6 feet apart.
Well, actually I could, because we were playing catch and we threw the ball deep, and he crashed into a fence, so that wasn't good. So it was actually like 40 feet apart, 4 yards.
I don't know if you're supposed to be handling the same ball, but okay.
Good gloves.
Okay. Yeah. That seems to be going around. Kevin and I played tennis the other day, and he crashed into the fence twice.
Oh.
Yeah. Not an experienced tennis player, but yeah. I mean, you got to be careful with Evan.
He's fragile. That's all we know.
He is, yeah, but he's got all that hair to cushion him.
Is it all that hair? I mean, it's definitely like a little.
I feel like he has like very floofy, luscious goy hair.
Yeah, definitely some. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have like the padding of Jewish hair, but I guess I don't know. The curls probably aren't that padded.
Yeah,
I don't have good Jew hair, so
I think of Jew hair as more kind of like wiry and thick. His is like cushy and thick.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to ask him at some point how.
Yeah, we'll interview him.
Yeah, that'll be an important question. Make sure we note that down.
Yeah.
Did you have any other? I mean, we don't have to go super deep, line by line in the episode. I certainly have some notes, but did you have things you wanted to say off the top?
I just love that Alan is like, I definitely completely trust Micah and Evan, even though they just played 2 idols that I didn't know about, and I have no idea what's going on, and they never tell me anything. I trust them completely. And then that's sort of mirrored later when Evan is talking about Alex and saying like, they think they're going to vote out Alex, and it's like, okay, well, it's been a good run. I enjoyed you telling me things and me never telling you anything ever. Yeah. So there's this running theme of people trusting Evan, even though he doesn't share anything with them.
He's a likable guy. I don't know. People just think that
he definitely is.
Yeah. And he like has enough like goofiness that I think people are totally deflected from like the strategic sense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Also, I don't think that people think that blonde guys are smart.
That's definitely true.
And you know what? They're usually right.
I think Alan might just win the award for literal best ally of all time.
Yeah, just truly nothing in it for him at all, ever. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Did we spill on the mic?
Okay. What?
Did we spill on the mic?
No, I just set this up today, and the mic stand is not at the correct angle, and I tried to fix it and it just sort of toppled down, but okay. I saved it.
Well, it looks very legit, and I didn't notice, so.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not secured on right, but I'll fix it later. It's good enough for now.
This is your version of the balancing challenge.
Yes, of the Big Brother putting all the glasses on each side of the tray.
Oh yes, the mixologist challenge.
Yeah,
are you a former mixologist?
I am a former. I don't know. Can you be a bartender and a mixologist? I invented a cocktail, so I think that counts.
Mixologist, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I called it the Pit 96 because it was right after Club 96 happened.
I was going to say that has to be a reference to that, right?
Yeah, a certified Pit 96 has a Swedish fish in it, but I didn't always have those on hand. That was just for garnish. But yeah, I like that all the we're not here to talk about Big Brother, but I like that all the challenges are drinking themed.
They really are. I don't know what they're getting at this summer. I don't think it's always the case.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
The theme is just alcoholism, which is also the theme of COVID, I think, for a lot of us. It's 4:00 and Austin and I
would never have done this ever before quarantine. Yeah, it's true. It's truly. I just on the Alan point, I had some I thought there were some good quotes at the beginning. He said, "How did you get the idol?" And Shannon said, "Fucking magic, man."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay."
Yeah, you can literally just tell, like, even when he asks a genuine question, you don't have to answer it, and he'll be like, "Cool."
Yeah. I mean, she did tell him eventually. And another thing that through line throughout the whole episode is Shannon. I wonder where she got this idea of trios from, but she kept talking about how great trios were.
Yeah, it's a game of duos right now. So we should make a trio.
I think literally 3 different times she was like, trios are where it's at. Let me tell you, I know this, and trios really work.
Yeah, you know what? She would know.
She really would. Do you think a trio is better than a duo in Survivor? Most people usually talk about like the one true pairing or the just your final two, but the Soka trio making a strong case for trios along with the home wreckers. I guess they failed. So
this is horrible. I need to just not deal with this right now. I set it up too quickly and it didn't work. Okay, we're fine. I think that a solid duo is probably better if you can bring in a third person, but as the Pretty Little Liars theme song taught me, to keep a secret if one of them is dead. So you introduce a third person into that, I think it's too easy for information to leak, and you also don't know for a fact where the information leaked from. Yeah. If you're in a trio. So I think it's good in the situation like this where they're down in the numbers, but I think if you are in a trio with somebody and you're in the majority, there is naturally a pecking order there, especially if you're not sure if there's going to be a final 3. And like normally you wouldn't want your trio to be the final 3, right? Because presumably if you're a successful trio, then you're going to have to split credit. So you don't want to go with them. So I think a duo is better.
Yeah. I think there was an era of Survivor where a trio did make more sense. Like you think of Tyson, Jervis, Monica, whatever. And like people knew there was a final 3. They felt like there was enough of a pecking order, but that didn't make sense for Jervis and Monica. That's true.
Tyson just got lucky that they're stupid.
They were played from the Alan Nicholas school of
or not even lucky. He picked them because he thought that they would not betray. But you know what I mean? Yeah. It's very hard to have a trio where it makes sense for all 3 of them.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. It's probably the exception to the rule. Mm-hmm. Evan says it's tie season, which was another thing that I said I just can't relate in 2020. It is never tie. It's never tie season anymore.
It's always tie season in my house. Unfortunately. Yeah. But thank you for clarifying, Evan, that it's not like it's actually draw. I thought that he was going to keep going, be like not like tie season, like draw season, not like artwork, not like Pictionary, but like.
Elena does bring up Parvati, Amanda, Sarit. I think the point is just you got to get 3. Like I don't know. I guess Amanda's semi-iconic, but 3 iconic people together. That's the way to have a good trio.
Amanda is iconic.
Okay, yeah, we can make Amanda iconic.
No, you can't make her. She is.
I mean, just compare it to Parvati and 3. Like, it's like almost hard to group them together because like 2 are so iconic, and then Amanda's like iconic.
I'm in a standa.
Stan Manda.
You know what I don't stand? Katie's still referring to these fucking tribe names. I have no idea who was on any of these tribes. I know the Soka trio was on white, but when she's talking about Noir and Froze, I have no clue who she's referring to.
I kind of got mad that I think Matt pronounced noir correctly, and I was like, you know what? You got to buy into the incorrect.
Noir.
Noir. Yes, Rosé is the trio side plus Alan.
Oh, is it Rose? I've been calling it Froze this entire time.
I was just letting you go with it.
Oh, I thought it was called Froze. Austin has never corrected me. We've texted about this.
I thought you just made it your own canon to decide that they were Rosé.
I just literally thought that the tribe was called Froze.
No, it was Rozay, and it was both a pun on them being pink and mixed from the red and the white tribe, and also on Rick Ross because Brian was rapping. Remember Brian?
No. Oh, was he the Pokemon trainer?
Yeah.
Okay, work.
Yeah. You should add him on Pokemon Go.
Yeah, send me his trainer code. I'll shoot him some hot gifts.
I don't think he's on it though. I think he's too busy with Minecraft.
Oh boy.
We go to the other side, and Alex says that there's not a snowball's chance in hell that Evan didn't know about the idols. And I just started picturing, I've never really thought about that phrase, but I feel like, snowballs really don't stand very much of a chance in hell. And I just kind of started feeling bad for them.
Oh my God. I had to rewind this because I thought I thought we were going to get a drink for Alex saying something ridiculous because I thought he said, there's not a snow globe's chance in hell. And I thought that was hilarious, but I rewound it. He did say it right.
I did write down a drinking thing where he said there was so much confusion about the idol and how they got it. And Alex's idea, what? Oh, it's snow globe's
chance. It's snow globe's chance in hell. This is Pittsburgh.
That snow globe can make it.
What?
I think that snow globe can make it in hell.
I don't know. It's made of plastic and metal, so I'm not sure about that.
The metal would forge into a fire or something. It would just take a new shape. I'm
a big snow globe guy.
They're pretty cool. I like the ones that have the golf ball that you can throw on the tee. That's my favorite. The ones that are a challenge.
Oh, yes, because you're so competitive, even snow globes must be a competition. Sorry. Okay, what were you saying?
I was saying that there was so much confusion about how Shannon and them got the idol. Everyone, it was kind of fun to see the reaction of what happens when a double idol play happens, and everyone's like, what the hell? But Alex's big idea was that Katie must have opened the clue and Shannon saw it over her shoulder, which I thought was an absolutely ridiculous take.
Did you say at the challenge that there were other idol clues hidden around, or did Micah just figure that out?
Other opportunities for idol clues.
Okay, well then how could nobody think about that?
I think they must have just thought it could be down the line. This was before the whole idols and challenges thing, so I don't think people were too attuned to just look for things, but clues obviously pop up randomly. I guess they just weren't thinking add a challenge. I
have always said that Micah is the Kelly Wentworth of Survivor Maryland, so that makes a lot of sense.
Mike Kelly.
That's a person, I think.
Mike Kelly?
Mike Kelly. I feel like that's a local Pittsburgh politician.
I mean, there are 100% people named Mike Kelly. That sounds like one of the most generic,
Congressman Mike Kelly is a U.S. representative, Pennsylvania's 16th district. Yeah, he's a Republican representative from Pittsburgh.
Mike Kelly Wentworth. There we go. My new favorite politician. Do we like him?
I know how much you love Republicans.
Oh, I didn't hear that he was a Republican. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I forgive you.
Yes, thank you. Take me off the cancellation list.
Yeah, I have my gavel. I'm ready.
Yes. All the props are there. And Katie's very frustrated. She doesn't like that things didn't quite work out there. Molly thinks she's a curse, and I figured you probably agreed.
I mean, you can call it a curse, or you can call it not being good at Survivor. I feel like one is more accurate than the other. I don't know. It's just my alliances just keep not succeeding. That maybe has something to do with you. I don't know.
I don't blame her for that one.
Oh, but Molly also wasn't any more cursed. That wasn't worse for Molly than anybody else.
But Nicola was her girl. Oh, wait. Yeah, Nicola was her girl.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah. And another case where Katie, I feel like, just a natural survivor. One confessional. It's not like it's like a crazy take, but she's like, if you don't have the potential to be top 2, no point in going to 4 or 6. And yeah. Pretty much survivor strategy in a nutshell.
Well, she should talk to anybody who's ever played Big Brother.
Oh my God. I just like from a casting perspective, how do they not do better on this?
Because
they don't want to?
They want people who are hot.
You're telling me that you can't find people who are hot, who are also competitive or can understand basic strategy?
I just don't think they care about that.
It's clearly what it is. It's just like the casting model has trended so much in their direction towards literal physical archetypes and nothing to do. And they don't even have, a lot of these people don't even seem like they're good like storytellers or confessionalists.
No, they're not. I mean, literally, like I've said this on mic before, but literally my semifinal interview questions for Big Brother were all like about showmances and like, what if we'd put your dream guy in the house, but he was a Republican? Like, would you hook up with him? Like, literally, they asked me that. So I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, what if we put your dream guy in there, but he had 3 heads and was a lizard? It's like, well, then he's not my dream guy. What if we put your dream guy in there, but everything about him except his physical appearance was repulsive to you? Like, okay.
I like this lizard with 3 heads guy, though.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's not a Republican. I wouldn't say he's my dream guy, but I would rather date him than the Republican.
Elizabeth Warren. All right. And last thing before the challenge, I had Evan amended his final 3 prediction, and I said, you can't do that a week later. You can't take it back.
I liked Molly's attempt at game analysis that there's 4 of us and 4 of them, and just because they're friends and actually like each other and we're forced to be together, that doesn't mean we're not just as close. And it's like, doesn't it?
Any other thoughts from you pre-challenge?
No.
Yeah. Besides that, the nice thing about the dead man quote is that, the thing about it is that I don't think Alex knows that it's actually dead man walking. Like, you're not just a dead man.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like he was putting a threat, like he was threatening Evan's life, and it's like, bitch, you already did that.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the challenge. So I know you hated it, disgusting. We established that. Are you good at these types of challenges, though? I was actually wondering. I feel like you would be, but I don't actually know.
It's hard. I have really, really good focus. Like, I'm somebody who can sit down and read. Yeah, focus on me. I'm someone who can like sit down and read a book in one sitting. Like, I have no issue with like attention span, which I feel like is a big part of this, is not getting distracted. But I've never really put this to the test, but I feel like I have shaky hands. Mm-hmm. But I've never done a challenge where that's like really been put to the test. So I think in theory, I could be good at this challenge. I also feel like, though, and maybe Shannon disproved this, but I felt like at the beginning, it's probably easier if you have longer arms because you don't have to like feel, or I don't know. It seems like it would be better to look.
Was too far, like, I think if it's at like a reasonable height for everyone, it's probably fine. It would only be if you had to like really reach out, but they were able to organize the coins where I don't think, but then maybe you're right.
Well, it was more like reaching for the coins, but also I feel like it would be easier to look down at the tower to stack them, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm not saying this is like a gender bias challenge. Yeah. But it did seem like it would be easier to look down, but I don't know. Are you good at these challenges?
I would say I'm pretty good at these. I'm not like world's greatest balancer or stacker, but I have good focus, and I don't get too nervous in those kind of situations usually.
Yeah, I mean, truly, the only Survivor challenge that I've ever seen that is like that's my challenge is the one where you stack blocks with your feet.
Oh my god, I would want to do that challenge so bad.
I'm just really good at picking stuff up with my feet, like. I don't know why.
Stuff up and putting stuff down.
Yeah.
It's a fun skill to learn when you're like near the couch. It has many practical effects.
Yeah. I mean, I have very tiny feet, but I feel like I have weirdly opposable toes. Like
we could do that on a pod. We could like have I'm going to do this notebook.
I don't have anything on my on the ground. I'm gonna have.
The problem is this chair is a little too shaky for it, but okay, people are gonna get really weirded out. Actually, YouTube's probably gonna ban me because they did that with Katie On's legs and Generations.
Oh my god, you can't even see it.
Be careful. Oh yes, with the gavel, with the toes. That's effective. We just lost every viewer we ever could have possibly.
Oh no, we're gonna end up on Wiki Feet.
The other thing. I had an idea one time. Speaking of Focus on Me, that I was gonna do a chain of restaurants that were all like
Ariana Grande songs.
Of Ariana Grande songs. So I was gonna open like an Asian cuisine that was called Fukasame or something. I had a better one, but
Austin getting dangerously close.
I don't understand.
I feel like making up words that like sound Asian is like not PC.
Okay, if you say so.
I'm just saying. I don't think I would come to Fukasame.
Okay. Well, I'd make it vegan. I
do love Japanese food, though. Yeah. I say that like there's any kind of food that I don't like. There's literally never been a time that somebody has suggested a type of takeout that I've been like, no, I don't like that.
Except for like meat as a cuisine.
I mean, if people are like, we're getting Arby's, but like fast food, I guess. But there's no like culture of food. Even like burger places usually have a veggie burger, and I love veggie burgers. So like
Arby's commercials really not catering to the vegan community.
No, they have the meats. You know what they also have? The only stop between DC and Pittsburgh on the megabus.
Oh, is it that one? There's something besides Arby's there though, right?
I don't know. I don't even know if their curly fries are vegan. I always pack very heavily for a megabus to eat all my own food because you never know. The one between Pittsburgh and New York stops at Subway, which is normally great for vegans. Like Maddie G like loves Subway and like gets vegan Subway all the time. But literally the smell of Subway makes me sick. So
I just hate Subway. It's just not.
Me too. So it's like great that they're.
You need the smell though. I like the bread smell when they're like baking bread.
I think to me, Subway just smells like a rest stop, and I just associate it with car sickness.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, the smell of Subway like really is disgusting to me. Yeah. But apparently they have really good vegan options.
Okay. All right. Challenge notes. Danny commented that I say and just like that a lot. So apparently that's the thing that I do. I didn't notice it.
We'll clock that maybe for next season's drinking game.
Just like that. Matt, not a challenge beast after all the hype from the superlatives. Nope.
Wait, he was voted challenge beast?
I thought he was. Maybe it was.
I thought it was Evan. I don't know.
Oh no, maybe it was Evan.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing some votes, but okay, maybe not. I did have a drink for sass, as Molly says. Such a Jeff.
Such a Jeff. I had that as well.
What else did you have?
For the challenge? I already gave my thoughts on this challenge.
Okay.
Happy for Shannon. I don't know.
So was Victoria.
Yeah, I thought that was maybe the same person that wanted to bring the hot girl back.
Maybe.
Maybe Victoria is a big Nicola stan.
She loves all the blondes.
Yeah. Yeah, good for her. Feel like good for Micah for still doing this despite obviously still suffering from allergies. All of his confessionals were like he seemed fully ill.
You know what? He was just excited that Alex lost. You could see the happiness on his face. The opposite from last week.
Yeah.
I also wrote that the Leaning Tower of Coins reference I made was just not at all clever.
No, the Leaning Tower of Coins does not rhyme with anything.
Yeah, the only one I could come up with was Leaning Tower of Lirsa.
Do you mean liras?
No.
Like the Italian currency? Oh. But what?
No, I didn't apply the challenge. I just was trying to think of if there could ever be a Leaning Tower of Pisa pun related to Survivor, and that was all I came up with.
No. Leaning Tower of... There's got to have been a Lisa. Leaning Tower of Lisa from that show. Who's the Lisa that Sam loves? That was on the Philippines?
Lisa Whelchel.
Yes. Leaning Tower of Lisa Whelchel.
Oh, God, yeah. Sister.
Sister. I remember watching that with my brother, and we were both like, ew.
Truly an iconic moment. Sister.
Austin, who would your loved one be? I'm sure I've asked you this before, but I can't remember.
Probably Danny, but my mom would not be happy about that.
Well, listen, you know my take is to never have a girlfriend or boyfriend on as your loved one unless you're married.
I mean, if you're at like 5+ years, is that not like almost domestic partnership at this point?
Yeah, well then why don't you just get married?
Relevant to the story here.
Okay, I'm just saying. I think if you are serious enough to commit to being loved ones on Survivor, you're serious enough to getting married.
I would. Well, I think I would not. I would personally not, and I have no issue with people who do. And there's both practical and just emotional reasons for it. But I would not. I feel like COVID Backstreet Boys on tour putting life on hold. Like, to me, I wouldn't want to do something like get engaged. Like, it just feels like I'm like kind of on pause and like maintaining right now, and I feel like it'd be a weird thing to like move forward with that, not knowing what the future is like.
Yeah, well, I think that probably you wouldn't be on Survivor during COVID, so I think we're removing this from the COVID scenario. I just think it's really stupid because a lot of these people break up, and then their whole Survivor experience, like anytime they watch it back, is tainted by like their ex.
You're saying that me and Danny are going to break up? That's what I'm hearing.
I'm just saying, I think if you are committed enough to be each other's Survivor loved ones and be watched by millions of people and have that like be a part of your once in a lifetime experience for the rest of your life, I think that it doesn't have to be marriage, but at least get a tax break. Like, I feel like get that domestic partnership status, be able to share on your renter's insurance. From now on,
actually, maybe there's a way to do it otherwise. But I'm thinking of common law marriage. That's 7 years, or I don't know.
Yeah,
so there's something of 7 years.
But you could be domestic partners, like. You get to be on the same renter's insurance. Like, that's good. And like car insurance.
It's like getting a tattoo of your partner's name or something. What if would that prove it enough for you if I get a tattoo of Danny's name?
No, that's also stupid. I'll get a tattoo of Danny's name though. Yeah. Because you don't have any other tattoos. That would be your first one. That's stupid. My body's already completely defiled, so I'll get a tattoo of Danny's name. Yes. Anyway, I just think it's like I've been critical of Ian Terry having a picture of his girlfriend in his girlfriend of less than a year in his Big Brother.
It's a little bit different.
What?
I think a less than a year is a little bit different than 5+ years.
No, I agree. I'm just saying I think that I think it's generally stupid for people to have. Yeah. Because that's just who you most love or most want to see like in the moment. Whereas I feel like, I don't know. Mine would always be my brother. I feel like no offense to Kevin, even if we got married, I would always want to see my brother.
My mom would be an iconic loved one, so that's part of the impetus as well. But so would Danny. So
my mom would be an iconic loved one if we had to do a challenge, because my mom is like so not competitive and also like bad at game. My mother is also almost 70 years old, and like bad at games, and I'm so competitive. I feel like we would have a damn it Reed scenario where my mom would be trying to do something and be like, damn it, mom.
my mom would be similar with that, and it would not be good. However, I don't think I could get mad at her in that scenario because she would be too funny. She would embarrass me 100 times. She would definitely hug Jeff Probst. She would go on like a 30-minute tangent about why I'm great. And
she would be like, he looks up to you so much. He started his own Survivor. He wanted to be just like you.
No, she would talk about like a teacher when I was 4 years old who was like, Austin, blah, blah, blah. And
I just feel like we generally need more Jewish mothers on Survivor.
Oh, definitely.
We haven't seen very many. What is your mom's name again?
Debbie
Trupp.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
You haven't met you need to meet my mom. My mom is.
I don't think I have met your mom. You've met my parents, I think.
Yeah. I met your mom. I've never met your dad.
You've never met my dad? My dad would be not good on Survivor. My dad is like an actual genius and is smart in the way that like he would not fuck with the reality TV at all. He would not give a confessional to the producers. He would be there and just be like with his hands behind his back, and we wouldn't hug, and he would just be like, hello, you're looking well. Looks like you've lost weight. How's it going? How does this game work? Dr. Brillman, not an electric TV presence.
Yeah, that's okay though. You would bring it.
He and I would be good on The Amazing Race. He would be funny if you had like more time.
Fire and ice in a way.
Yeah, because I'd be like, Dad, we have to like go. We're in last. He would just be like, let me consult my compass. It's like, we know which way we're going. We just follow the signs. Like, no, let me look at the map.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm also thinking of like who would need to visit me the most, and I don't know the answer between my mom and Danny. My mom would be more worried for my life, but Danny would be more sad.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom would want to see me the most, but I would need to, for my mental health, it would have to be my brother. I would want to see my brother the most.
Yeah, that's what's most important.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the other thing is, and I don't know if you saw this last week too. I almost commented on it. I gotta say, not that I've ever been a king of fashion, but my fashion choices during these episodes.
I noticed your hoodie and also your hair.
Oh, the hair wasn't good. It's hard to go home and get a haircut I didn't like going to the haircut place in College Park, but the turquoise V-neck with like the black sweater on the outside, just not good.
Very bitch, are you gay?
No, yes, it's a very straight look.
Yeah.
And the V-neck
unlike
was
your current look, which is so homosexual, Austin.
I mean,
currently, right now, this second.
This is just called living the remnants of this is my That's So College moment of the episode.
Yeah, because there weren't any. There were no 2015 moments.
Well, the secret is that we actually transported to an island in 2020 to play the last couple rounds. So that's what happened.
Very unsafe.
Yeah. All right. Post challenge. So Shannon proposes a final 3 deal with Matt and Alan. Now obviously, I think we know this didn't happen because Alan just got out. But would you have, in a timeline where this final 3 happens and Shannon presumably probably wins that, would you have been happy?
Probably not. I don't know. That sounds fine. I like a woman trouncing 2 men at the final tribal. I don't know that would happen based on what happened in the last season that we watched, which was called Terrapin Trials.
Terrapin, yeah.
Terrapin Trials. For some reason I thought, Outback was the second one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on what happened in that one, where the person who played way harder lost to the man who didn't. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah. That if you look, that would not have been good. So Matt's in an interesting spot here where he doesn't trust Alex at all, and he also doesn't really trust working with the trio or Froze side, whatever you want to call them. Did you think? So I think this is an interesting call that I've gone back and forth on. So the trio here decides to vote Alex in the episode, and on the one hand, if they vote Alex, that's the person that the other side's most likely to flip on. On the other hand, if they don't vote Alex, Alex is the most likely person to flip to them, although I guess probably not at this point. But
I don't know. Based on the next time, my girl Molly might come through.
Yeah. Did you know that we were on toe together?
I certainly don't.
What do you think they should have done? Did they do the right thing?
Well, obviously it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anyone that they could have targeted that. I mean, I think that this makes sense for them because if it's the most likely person to flip to their side, then yeah, that's also going to be the most likely person that his alliance is going to flip on. And Alex is a wild card. I don't know why the other side would like completely trust him and Katie, but I mean, it made sense, but ultimately, like, I didn't really think it was going to matter because what is the incentive to flip to the Soka trio at this point?
Yeah. I guess if you're Matt, maybe it's like you trust the final 3 thing. You don't think Shannon is going to go to the end with Evan, and you think you can beat the 2 of them, and you need to put a move on your resume. That's, I guess, the only thing, but I don't think it really makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, and that's like potentially true, right? Because Shannon doesn't want to go to the end with Mike and Evan. It's just so far away at this point to plan for that.
And I wrote, Matt, as I said, Matt says Noir correctly, that bitch.
That bitch. He's a French legend. Even
and
though
Chinese.
he's studying Chinese. Yeah. I really thought that Micah's final 3 speech
Yeah.
is coming along really nicely. I think Brandon, we're both tall, is a great pitch.
Yeah. How could you vote against that? I wrote down the same thing.
Honestly, I mean, being tall is really the only thing I looked for in my dating apps. So maybe it's the only thing I would look for when casting my jury vote.
Lita, we're both Jewish. Actually, that one probably would work a little bit better.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandon, we said, yeah, strong arguments for Micah. And this really went to your point last week of the Soka trio not exactly playing as if they're underdogs.
No, not at all. Let me start working on my final 3 speeches. That's something that underdogs say.
No, not usually. Yeah, I also thought I got a little bit of like parental anxiety watching Alex and Evan chat in front of this crazy looking storm in the background.
No, I didn't even notice that. I was just like, what could Alex possibly be working on his computer outside without Wi-Fi? That is so important. He's just like playing Minecraft. Not Minecraft. Minesweeper.
Oh, he was actually playing chess.
Was he actually?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That is what you do without Wi-Fi. As somebody who has been on long plane rides with my laptop when I got tired of reading and watching movies, you just play chess.
I think there is actually outdoor Wi-Fi in Maryland.
Yeah, but like, does it work? We had wireless at Michigan, but like, it did not really work outside.
I would say for maybe not for like high def streaming, but you could definitely get some content going. Actually, you know what? It definitely did because I streamed during the Terrapin Trials freaking Sundial Challenge. We were watching an episode of Maryland Outback on YouTube.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So Maryland Wi-Fi. Another reason to go to the University of Maryland at College Park. Also, Bird is canceled, so
okay.
He's a racist.
Yeah, I know that you told me that, but I still looked at your shirt and was like, I don't remember what Bird is.
Just pull it down a little bit. And Alex says again that we should kill Evan's ally. Just a lot of murder imagery here.
Yeah.
And then also, speaking of decisions on votes, I mean, they talked about Molly's idea was to vote Micah to make Evan vulnerable. And my thought was, why wouldn't they just vote Alan to make both of them vulnerable?
Because they forgot about Alan.
It's actually, I think, 100% what happened. And then last thing before Tribal that I had was Matt says he's 99% sure he's voting Alex to Shannon. And I feel like if someone doesn't say 100% to you, you might as well take it as 0. But I also don't understand, like, why would you hedge with 99? Like, why wouldn't you just say yes or no? Like, it was just like a weird play to me. But I guess
it's almost like Matt is not very good at Survivor.
He's just like, he's so cautious.
Yeah.
So I guess he was hedging to be like, oh, I said I had a little bit of doubt, but like
nobody likes that.
Nothing had happened that changed your 1% scenario. Yeah. Should we talk about Tribal Council?
Sure.
Okay. So we had people running in the background. Did you enjoy the appearance of the natives?
The natives?
There were like these weird people who were like dashing behind the Tribal Council set.
Man, I don't notice anything. I didn't see that.
It was just like this rustling, and then Molly was like, "It's the natives." Molly's best one. Yeah.
Molly Thin Ice.
Did you appreciate? Did you think Micah's pitch was effective?
What was Micah's pitch?
If you come to our side, I'll bake you cookies.
Oh, depends what's in those cookies.
That's true. He also offered to knit a hat.
Yeah, knitting club.
That's right.
That was a reference from earlier that I already forgot what it means.
It was, again, Brian, the Pokemon trainer.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then I think Micah also, a third comedic moment for him. I think he was the one who wrote Alex CKS, which is a good vote.
Yeah, it's like almost the Russian way of spelling it. The Russian way is ALEKS.
Wouldn't it just be like Alexei?
Well, I think if your name is like Alexander, and then you like go by Alex, then that's what it is. Because their name is not Alexander, it's Alexander. Like Bernie Sanders.
That's, I think, what they're doing it based off.
Yeah, his brother's name is Alex Sanders.
Alex Sanders. And we go to rocks. I think everybody made the right decision. Katie says shit don't change, which I don't know what that means, but she said it.
Yeah.
And Alan goes home.
R.I.P.
Yeah. It seems like you were starting to like Alan.
Was I?
Just for being a trio supporter.
Yeah, we love a Ahsoka Trio stan. I don't know what happens to the Ahsoka Trio now. That sucks.
They looked a little blown after the vote. Did not look too happy. Had to be a gut punch.
Yeah, had to be. Still, if Ahsoka Trio plus Alan member had to go home, I am glad it was the plus Alan.
Yeah, but much more fun to keep them all together than Alan dropping out, sadly.
Yeah, definitely. I also don't know how fun it would. Well, you know what? I actually think it would be more fun to watch the Ahsoka Trio plus Alan run the table because you don't know who's going to win of those three and they don't want to go to the final three together, so stuff would still happen. Whereas if these other four just run the table, I don't know, man. Like, obviously don't tell me anything, but this is not going to be like the most entertaining end game ever.
Mm-hmm. No, I do think there's if the tables go the other way, the showdown that would have to happen between Evan and Shannon would be fascinating.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But you know what? Also fun to see them have to claw their way, try to claw their way together.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll find two more idols and one of them will win immunity. It's possible.
Yeah. Well, I think the only thing is that I just wasn't as big on like gazillion idols. So like you wouldn't have like idols fall from the sky at this point in the game. However, if I wanted to rig it, I guess I should have.
Yeah, Austin, why didn't you rig it? It's the difference between Survivor Maryland and regular Survivor, the only difference I would say, literally the only one, they're indistinguishable otherwise, is that you are allowed to rig it legally.
You know, I never thought of it that way.
Legally speaking, you are allowed to rig the game in a way that they are not on regular Survivor. You would not have a Gretchen sitch on your hands.
Well, you know, now I even regret not rigging it for Sherry even more.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I don't know. Please don't spoil. I assumed there was Redemption Island in play and she was going to come back.
Right.
At Final 3.
It's Redemption Island, but for some reason it was only offered to Sherry.
It was only offered to Sherry. It was a buyback that only Sherry could access for being voted America's favorite player. And she gets to come in at Final 3.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Literally, why not, Austin? That's what I'm asking you.
Can't think of a reason. All right, should we do superlatives?
Sure.
Okay.
I didn't have any good quotes or scenes.
I think Micah's final tribal speech is the one that I enjoyed. Yeah, I watched it twice. Scene. Maybe it's. I mean, the rocks.
Sure.
Yeah. I also liked Shannon guiding Alan along the path of righteousness.
Yeah.
I wrote down Thursday jackpox. That's not a superlative.
No, it's not.
It's not. Did you have a best player this episode?
I mean, I don't feel like everybody simply made the same move that was in everyone's best interest. So no.
I guess Shannon tried the most and won immunity. So good job.
Great.
Fish out of water.
It's so funny because it's always best player, which I think of as the fishy, and then it's the fish out of water.
That's the fishy out of water.
It's the fishy out of water. It's a reverse fishy. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you got to give it to the Ahsoka Trio collectively.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's a good sign for them because so far your fish out of waters, none of them have
gone home. Well, I think I said Alan 2 weeks ago.
You did.
So
you also said Nicola 2 weeks before that. So you're
okay. So the Ahsoka Trio, all three of them are going home in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then finally your Lita of the Pack Ward.
Oh my God. I mean, I guess at this point it has to be Katie because the other four on that side are such like duds.
Wow, shaded Alex.
Well, Alex is not going to win. I don't see a jury vote going to Alex. But maybe, I don't know. Misogyny is real.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Alex is not a TV dud. I just mean in terms of a jury vote.
Didn't somebody say last episode
Last episode
that they were like, I mean, it was Mike or something. Like, I got to give it to Alex. I always hate on him, but he's kind of playing well. So I feel like there's some seeds of like maybe Alex isn't totally terrible coming.
Maybe
through.
It's hard to tell. I can't tell how much people like personally like him, which does impact the jury vote.
It certainly does. All right. Any other thoughts that you have?
No, I hope that next episode is more comedic. Austin, nobody watches Survivor for like the gameplay and strategy and characters.
Definitely not the challenges either.
No, I do like the challenges.
Okay, that's good.
It brings me back to my when I was like 5 and my parents were watching Survivor and I would always just watch the challenges and then leave.
Did you really?
When I was 5, yeah, I couldn't really get invested in the strategy and the naked fat gay guy, Austin. Please do not judge and look down on my view. Ew, really? You only watched the challenges when you were 5? You didn't have sophistication and taste to appreciate the art of Richard Hatch inventing the Alliance? Yeah, I only watched the challenges.
I didn't watch till I was much older anyway, so I really can't judge. But I know people who watch just for the challenges at like in their 20s, and it just there's different shows to watch for that. It's called sports.
It's called The Challenge.
Or The Challenge, yes. Or honestly, well, I would say Big Brother because it's so challenge heavy, but the challenges are pretty terrible. So
they're called comps.
Oh God, I made that mistake the other day too.
Yeah. You'll never be a true stan. Yes, I watched the challenges of. I've since gone back and rewatched them, obviously, but I pretty much only watched the challenges of Borneo and Australia, and then I famously was not allowed to watch Survivor Africa because my mom she really hates tattoos, LOL, and thought that if my brother and I watched Lex on TV because he was being presented as kind of like one of the heroes because of those like what's that alliance called, like Subaru or whatever alliance they were on. It's called like Samburu or something. The 3 guys, Tom, Ethan, and Lex, were being presented as the good guys, and so my mom did not want my brother and I to see Lex as like an inspiration.
She didn't want you to see a nice Jewish boy like Ethan?
She did. She loved Ethan, but no, we were not allowed to watch Lex.
She should have just like blocked out the screen. I remember when we were watching like the Odyssey movie version of middle school. It's like it gets very sexual at some points. Apparently, I wouldn't actually know. And they just put a white sheet up.
Oh my God. Why not just fast forward?
They did, but they didn't even want to see us during the fast forward. So they put a white sheet up, but you could like see movement around there during.
That's so insane because like I feel like the Odyssey was not taught at my school. I feel like at that point just teach a different book or don't show the movie.
Yeah, no, the book it just specifically was the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't like truly watch Survivor, I think, until Thailand.
I didn't watch till Heroes vs. Villains. This was my first season.
That's fucked up.
You know, it hooked me in, I gotta say.
I mean, Sam's first episode was the Kagiyan finale, so a good starter episode can really do a lot for you.
Yeah, I mean, the finale is just a weird one to watch for anything, but I guess a lot of people probably.
The Kagiyan finale is pretty amazing.
It's a great finale. I think the Kagiyan premiere episode is like my best to hook people in.
Yeah, well, the Kagiyan merge is also amazing, but I mean, it was literally just because Sam and I were on a trip together. We were in Chicago, and I was like, "Hey, the Survivor finale is tonight. I'm gonna watch it. Like, you can do whatever. You can hang out with our friends, like go out or whatever. But I'm watching Survivor tonight." And he was like, "Oh, I'll watch it. I've never seen it," or like, you know, he'd seen it when he was like really little or whatever, and he was instantly gripped.
How could you not be?
Yeah,
on TV. You got to just do what Danny did and just watch Guts and Glory as your first Survivor season, and that's clearly the end for everyone.
Obviously, how could you not be hooked by masterminds like Brian and Matt and Alan, Molly?
Don't forget about Elise.
I absolutely will forget about Elise.
You should, honestly.
Was she the one that that is the twin with someone that Danny and I went to high school with?
I already forgot that, so yes, I think so.
I don't know. There was someone who looked exactly like someone that Danny and I went to high school with.
Was it her or was it Emily? I don't remember.
I don't remember either because I don't know who Emily is. No concept of who that is.
She was the second boot.
Can you please, like, maybe at the end of either this season or All Stars? Well, I guess we might as well do this season because I know everybody who's on All Stars, but you should make a quiz of like real or fake Survivor Maryland contestant and give me their first and last name.
Wait. Okay, how do we do this? So, because I was, when you just said that, I was like, I could do basically combine Terrapin Trials and Guts and Glory, and you would have to A, say their name, and B, which season they're on.
Which season they were on, yeah.
But if you want me to pull random people that I knew from college, I certainly can do that. I think you would pass that one, though. Because I think facial recognition, you would at least be able to, like, sort out who's who. Maybe not.
I am face blind.
Okay, I will throw in a couple random people to make it a little more interesting. And we will do this after Guts and Glory.
Okay, I was just thinking their first and last name. I think, yeah, faces is probably a lot easier.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, you don't even want... Oh, you don't want faces. You just want first.
I think that would be too easy.
Okay.
So just like give me like 3 people and be like, which one is a real Survivor Maryland contestant?
I mean, if I just said the name Alex or Katie, it's 100% a real contestant.
Yeah, that's true. But you have to do like first and last name.
Okay, we can make that happen.
Okay.
All right. Well, great to talk to you as always. And only 3 episodes to go, including the finale. Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't bring Alan on today, by the way.
Oh my God, it's fine. I was texting with him earlier.
I did briefly see if Dom wanted to come on because Dom is just a huge Alan stan.
Why does Dom have such bad takes? He's such a smart guy.
I think Dom sometimes has ironic takes.
Do you still have the dog?
What?
Do you still have the dog?
No.
Oh. Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I know.
Just wondering. Dom has some maybe ironic takes, but you know what? He turned out to be somewhat right about Michelle Fitzgerald because I'm not very happy with her right now. Because
I think Dom wants to even the playing field.
He's an edgelord.
Too much love, so you got to bring them down, and some people don't get enough love, and you got to bring them up.
He just applies the Scally principle in real life.
Yes, it's proper weighting of favoritism and expectations.
Yes. Yeah. The Scally principle, for those of you who don't know, is that everything that is universally loved is overrated. No matter what it is, it has to be overrated. If it's super widely beloved.
What about like Suri?
I mean, that would be the Scally principle. It's not the Lita principle. The Kirsten principle is that every food is either a soup or a salad, but I don't agree with that.
It is the Kirsten principle. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, this was fun, and we will chat soon. And yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 more weeks of unemployment, so
I'm actually full-time starting next week, so I think I mentioned that.
Yeah, that sucks.
But
so starting like Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, I'd be working Monday anyway. I'd be working that week anyway, but no more off weeks. So, yeah. I mean, you let me know if you want to do. Obviously, we can wrap up this season. I still think All Stars would be fun. I think like it's worth doing if you've done the other ones. But if you are busy and have work and stuff, we don't have to. Yeah,
well, All Stars can be fun because I feel like because nobody watches this, I can be very candid.
I actually think probably, I'm not saying it's going to be like viewers to the roof, but I think some more people will watch All Stars.
Okay. Well, we'll see who we have in the regular viewers and if they can keep secrets.
I think. Well, hey, Elena's here, and that's all that matters to me. So.
What'd you say?
I said Elena is here, and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, Elena, can you keep secrets so I can spill tea?
I also think like we could probably get like I feel like Kirsten would come to talk All Stars. We can mix up our guests. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I will talk to you soon, and have a great rest of your Friday.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.